Hey guys, what's up? It's Molly, and today we're going to be talking about the time me and my friends were driving around and we ended up breaking down in kind of a sketchy area. Um, and then we ended up spending the whole day trying to get out. So let's get right into it. So I recently just got back from college and I've been really wanting to hang out with some friends just because I've been bored, haven't had a lot to do. So I was like, I hit up my best friend and I was like, yo, dude, like, you want to do something? He's like, yeah, I just don't know what. And I was like, dude, we could take photos of your car. He recently just got done modifying his car, kind of getting the build to where he wanted it to be. So I was like, dude, we could definitely take photos. We can do some videos of it, do some rollers, because I have do a bunch of photography and videography work. And so he was like, yeah, I'm down, dude, I'm down. Just meet me at my house and we'll figure out where to go from there. I was like, bet. So I get in my car, I load up about $1,000 worth of video and camera equipment, and I zoom over to his house. I get over to his house and he's with his buddy who has a K truck, and like they're like small Japanese trucks. I mean, they're just two seaters, really small, right hand drive. He had to get it imported. Super cool car. But anyways, the plan was to get rollers with that car. I would be sitting in the back of the truck bed and he would be driving down and I would be kind of leaning over getting videos of my friend's car. And so that was the plan. Unfortunately, though, we're not going to risk our lives for this, so we're not doing this on the freeway or an actual active road. So we got to find somewhere that's kind of secluded and doesn't have a lot of traffic on it. Honestly, just like an abandoned road would probably work the best. We come with this idea. We go under this bridge, and there's this road that goes under this bridge, right? And it goes kind of far, and then it takes a right, and it goes down to this like town. But like no one goes down to this fucking town. Like it's pretty much just like hicks and just like old people. And my friend had been telling, like, while we're rocking up to this place, my friend is like telling me all these like fucking crazy stories about his dad, how he's like wandering around there, and like people would just get real pissed at him and like honestly flash their guns or something. So they're very secluded, they're very got that fucking redneck mindset. So we kind of rock up to the spot, not thinking we're going to be there for very long. We're just going to be in and out. We're going to drive down this road, get some rollers, and then zoom off, and we'll forget about it, right? So we get there. I'm setting up my camera equipment. I got to get everything ready because everything's all still in bags and all that stuff. So I'm kind of sitting there getting everything ready, getting the SD cards loaded up, and kind of adjusting everything. So after a while of just fiddling around with the cameras, I finally get everything set up, and I'm like, okay, guys, let's get ready to do this thing. And so we all jump in our cars, and my buddy who's driving the K truck, tries to start it, and it's just starting. It's just cranking. That's all it's doing. It's just cranking. And we'd sit there, and everyone just starts looking at each other like, oh my fucking god! Like we did not just break down here. Like this is probably the worst place to break down, and just such a hard to get area too. It's also a weird area to explain. For tow truck drivers, is like, okay, under the bridge to the right near the sketchy town. Like it's just not a really good area. So we're like, oh my gosh, like no way this happened. And both my friends are mechanics, so like obviously I'm like, we're in good hands, like we're gonna get this fixed, everything's gonna be fine. But sure as shit, nothing is like we're staring at this thing for hours, man, for hours, like at least 2 hours. We're staring at it, and we have like he has a toolkit with him, so we're just kind of using the tools that we got. We have a couple ratchets and some wrenches, so we're just kind of fiddling around with the engine, looking at stuff, and we can't find out what the fuck is wrong with this thing. And it's turning over fine, but it just like is dying immediately. So it's not the starter. We know that for a fact. And obviously if it's to do with something with the engine or like a pump or anything like that, like we can't do anything about that in the field. Like we would have to take it to a shop or we'd have to do it at someone's house, and we were just not there to do it. So anyways, so we're fiddling around for a while, and we can't figure out what the fuck to do with it. So now we're just like, okay, well, we're going to have to call a tow truck. And so my buddy, let's just call him Trevor, who owns the K truck. And we're just telling Trevor, like, yo, dude, like, we got to get a tow truck. Like, this is the only way. Like, no way are we fixing it and getting it back. And he's like, no, we're not calling it a tow truck. And I'm like, what other options do we have? And my friend had recently bought, like, a Mazda B 2000, right? There's like a small Japanese Mazda truck. And he's like, dude, let's just bring your Mazda truck over and let's just tow it. And I'm like, dude, what the hell? Like, that is such a dumb idea, man. And so he's like, okay, let's tow this thing with the fucking other truck. And granted, this is also a project car, right? So we're potentially running the risk of having two, cars broken down in the sketchy area and then having to call two tow trucks. which is just not a risk me and my buddy Jeremiah, let's just call him Jeremiah, are willing to take. We're just not willing to take that risk. That would just cost us so much money. So we're just like, okay, let's call a tow truck, right? And so we're bickering back and forth, and eventually, Trevor decides, okay, fine, we'll call a tow truck, but it's got to be a cheap one. We're not fucking paying $200. And I'm like, oh my God. And at this point, you got to realize it's getting late. You know what I mean? We're burning daylight by the minute. And it's like, it's getting to 6, 7, we're approaching 8, and a lot of tow truck drivers, especially like, just local ones that aren't going to charge, a fuck ton, they're going to bed. They got wife and kids at home. They got to do shit. So I'm like, okay, we're running out of time. Let's just start calling up people. So, Trevor is giving us numbers to call, and we're calling them up. And I don't know where the fuck Trevor is finding these numbers, dude. He was telling me he was finding them on websites. I don't believe it. I don't know. Anyway, so we call up this one guy named Bob, bro. Like, what? Okay. We call Bob, and we call him, and it's just some regular ass guy. He's like, how'd you find this number? How do you know my name? I'm like, dude, like, we found it on your website. He was like, you do towing? He's like, oh, yeah. I'm sick right now. What? Okay. I was like, fuck, that's just some bad luck. So, we hang up on Bob, and we're like, okay, let's try another number. So we try this other one. It's more professional. It's actually got like a name. I don't know what the name was, but it was actually, they had a shop. They didn't have a tow truck in their front yard, just towing people. They actually had a shop. And the dude picks up, and he doesn't speak any English. No English. No hablo inglés. So that was a bust. So now we're down, and time's running up, and people are calling us, telling us it's going to cost $250, and Trevor does not have that money on him. So we're like, okay, shit. Then we decide to do a Hail Mary. So earlier when we were broken down, working on the car for 2 hours, this guy had driven past us, and he's like, oh, you guys broken down? And we're like, yeah, what do you fucking think? Well, we didn't say it like that. We would have actually probably gotten shot, but we were like, yeah, we're broken down, like, I think we got it handled. We did not have that shit handled. We did not have that handled at all. And so he's like, yo, if you guys need to, you need some help, need some tools, I'm like all the way down towards the left, and like first house on the left. And we're like, okay, sweet. So we decided to do a Hail Mary, and we walk all the way down there. We pull up to this dude, and he is an absolute freaking hick, dude. Like, I don't know if you guys know that, even if you would understand this, but when they have like the phone holder on the side of their belt, you know what I mean? Like, that's when you've reached some hick, old person territory. And he's got all sorts of bullshit in his yard. Like, he's just living life, man. Just off the grid. He's got this crazy clapped out van. It's got everything known to man in there, for survival. It's got beds, fucking bike rack, whole kitchen in there. It was honestly pretty dope. We were like, yo, dude, can you help us out? Maybe we can leave the car here. And he was like, no, can't help you. Which, man, why would you fucking say you could help and then just proceed not to help us at all? Literally nothing. So that was kind of a dead end. So we ended up walking all the way back, which was just super freaking annoying. We were just pissed the whole time, just trying not to get shot. We walked all the way back. So then we sit there and proceed to call everyone in our contact list. I'm talking everyone, dude. We were, I was calling my moms, I was calling my grandparents, I was calling everyone, dude, just to try to figure out, who has a tow truck, who has a bed that we can lift it on. Not only that, but who has a truck that can, tow. I mean, the K-truck's not that big. Realistically, we probably could have pushed that sucker home. But do we want to do that? We want to waste, 6 hours? No. So, anyways, just to find someone who has a truck and a trailer, just impossible. We ended up stumbling across one of my old buddies from high school. His name's, let's call him Nathaniel. And he ended up having a truck and a trailer, which was an insane pull. I just didn't even know if that guy was, had anything. So that was super freaking lucky. It was kind of just a shot in the dark. I was just like, I kind of sounded like an Indian telemarketer scam. I was like, do you have a truck? And, he's like, yeah, I got a truck and everything. And I was like, okay, bet, dude. So while Nathaniel is on his way to their location, and it's it's a tricky spot to get there, so he's definitely going to need some, phone call directions. And so my boy, freaking Jeremiah, is nudging me in the shoulder, and he's like, dude, we should go back and smoke. We get lit as fuck, and then we come back, and we just have a good time while we're loading up the K-truck. And I was like, bro, I don't know if we should leave Trevor out here, alone with $1,000, worth of cameras and video equipment, and we're just smoking back at your house. He's like, no, 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 we'll be fine, we'll be fine. I'm like, dude, Nathaniel and Trevor have never even met them like each other. Like, how the fuck are they gonna like interact? Like, it's just gonna be awkward as hell. Like, we're just gonna leave them to fend for themselves. I mean, I guess they're like grown ass adults. They'll figure that shit out. So we ended up deciding we're gonna go smoke. So we drive back. So we drive back to his house. He lights up. I did not smoke. I am a good, responsible citizen because, I was driving. So could not smoke. So, he lights up. We drive back. And then, Nathaniel's already there loading up the K truck, bro. Apparently he'd gotten there a while and we had just let time pass at his house on accident. So I felt really bad. We both felt really bad. So we we get there. K truck's all loaded up. Just really freaking clutch, honestly, on Nathaniel's part. Like, it was getting dark. Like, the sun was setting. Like, it's summer and the sun was setting, so that shit was late. So really clutch on Nathaniel's part. God bless him, and we ended up getting out of there unscathed. Everything, none of my shit was stolen. It was great, but unfortunately, we have no fucking video evidence that we got rollers or anything like that, so that kind of sucks, but, it is what it is. At least we are alive. But anyways, that's the end of the story. Thank you for listening, and I'll catch you all later.